I'm going to run again. See what you do differently and better. Do not accept the status quo. Well, this district is not winnable by Republican. No, don't accept that. And whenever somebody's standing by and bring all this nonsense to me, I'm going to look at the map of 2024. How red, it's so red, it's pure. It's pure. You could see the sensation of red. I didn't know red was so beautiful. I know it's a beautiful color. It's my color, July and July.
That's right.
Okay. So, and it's the color of life. What life breathed into us. Because our blood. Okay. So Donald Trump breathed life back into America. I know a lot of you guys like, what the hell this guy's talking about? But it's the truth, the reality. It breathed life into us. Because you see, for people that want to be miserable, it's going to stay miserable. But who don't see the great things that come in. And this week I was look at some of the top story. Nancy Mace, representative out of South Carolina, who just got elected, and also one of the first transgender who got elected in Congress. And Nancy, and beside what's going on in Russia, we're going to touch on those. She introduced a bill in Congress this week. If you were born as a your own biological sex, if you were born as a man, no matter what, you're going to use the man bathroom. If you're born as a woman, to your biological sex, you're going to use the women restroom. And also other facility in the Capitol Hill, including locker room. She extended the bill by also any government building in the country. I would think that would be common sense, Dr. White.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, she said, I guess she was a victim of sexual assault. Okay. She would not feel comfortable knowing that sex is a male. Okay. She's not no xenophobic or transphobic, whatever name the liberals created out there. But it's just a common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That when the biological sex is in their own private sector doing what they're doing, they're either in the shower or in the locker room or in the gym, it would feel comfortable. Imagine, I know Amania, she's comfortable around me. What is I don't want to use the bathroom that she is using.
Absolutely.
I want to give her some privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But do you see what a common sense, even though she might feel like, boy, what the hell? What are you doing in the same bathroom with you?
Yeah.
So it's common sense. And for those who are out there listening to us, and I do want to hear from you. And if that Donald Trump did not get elected, this thing was going to be in steroid in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening to the AOC and the Democrat say, "Oh, this is racist. This is transphobic. This is a risk to women." I'm like, this is the kind of people you guys elected. Okay, so and we're gonna talk about Russia launching an ICBM missile. That's a warning to the West. Remember, Joe Biden hand out Ukraine long-range ballistic missiles. So far, Ukraine has launched about 6 missiles against Russia. Was intercepted by 5 or 6 of them, according to the report. Russia responded. They probably will even attack Poland, American base in Poland. Are we back to the 1960s? The Bay of Pigs, what happened in Cuba? And what would Joe Biden give long-range missiles to Ukraine? Either try to create a mess or war 3 before he leave office, or create a chaos and disaster for Donald J. Trump. Okay,
Mhm.
so folks, this is not a game. And why are those Democrats so eager? And the question I'm asking for people who understand the world: do you think Ukraine could defeat Russia? Okay, and if we were voted the other stuff, Kamala Harris, we would have been a whole lot of mess. You, as a concerned citizen, you're not thinking about this. ICBM. This is the first time that Russia launched ICBM missiles. So far, as a report, they didn't have no nuclear warhead, but Putin is not playing. Yeah, he wants Donald Trump to negotiate a peace. He wants to sit down. Europe is getting ready for war. The German chancellor preparing their troops. They were celebrating when Ukraine launched, the European Union celebrating when Ukraine launched those long-range missiles into Russia. So this is some of the debate that we're going to have. And also on the top topic, Matt Gaetz, which is our counsel, a great man I still support. And I'm going to have some more update about this. Withdrew his name and nomination to be the next Attorney General. I got a couple update. We're going to talk about that. So let me first, Amania, hello. How are you?
Good. Hello, Voy. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Wonderful, Mama.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to set myself up on YouTube. Hi, guys. Hello, friends. So, yes, it's been a great week, interesting week. Lots is happening. And I know, Voy, you touched on a couple of things, but that whole transgender bill is something that is really ringing great things in my heart, because as a female woman with a vagina, it's kind of, offensive, like you say, for me to go into a restroom and there's a man with a penis, using the facilities. It's kind of, it's not something I like. And I've said it many times. If I were to ever have that experience of going into the ladies' room and there's a man there doing his business, I will be screaming holy hell. And, they're not going to be able to stop me, because that's exactly how it is. So shout out to our Congresswoman, Macy, for doing this, putting this bill together. It starts at the top. This is where we need to fix it. If it can go, if transgender can go and do this in DC, then they can do it anywhere else in the country, any other space. So it is time for the Congresswomen to come together and say, no, we are going to protect women. We're going to protect girls. And this is where it starts. It starts in the Hill, and it's going to work its way throughout the country. So, so I'm excited for that. So there I go. Thank you, Voy.
Dr. White, hello, my man. How are you? And how you feeling?
Yeah,
and I see
feeling-
you looking good. The head will be shining today.
Well, I had to follow my brother. All right, for his rock, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's very
All
attractive.
right. Like I used to be Kojak with the lollipop.
Oh man, I used to love his.
So
he was a great actor.
he brought it into being,
Yeah.
but picking the first trend, with all the problems that's taking place in this world, in this country, we have inflation, we have unemployment, we have an educational system that is the worst of any industrialized country. And then we are on the verge of not one, not two, but 3 wars, of a 3rd world war by a person that we claim he is our president, but he's an imbecile.
You don't even know what day it is.
I mean, he got lost in the Amazon the other day. You saw that?
At
Oh,
the G20.
God, yeah.
At the G20 summit.
Come on. So, I mean, we have so many major issues, and we want to talk about these things. They want to push their agenda within us. You know what? People who read the Bible, check this out. Do you realize that the devil he's not even gay?
Oh,
You check that out?
no.
I mean, when he went into the Garden of Eden, there were 2 people there who was naked. He went to who?
The woman.
Eve.
Yeah.
Now, if he was gay, he would have gone to Adam.
Okay. Never looked at it like that before.
So that whole element, what they're doing is absolutely
Could
wrong.
it be that he know the woman, the female, the empathy, species, you could say. Would it be weaker?
Could have been. But I mean, if you're just going by looks, he is saying, wow.
But you know, Adam is not the first wife. Eve is not the first wife of Adam.
He's not the first wife. So
No.
you break it on down to me.
I do want to understand
That's
that too.
one good thing about this show. You know, we go off all over the place because this is a group of intellectual gangsters.
Well, it was Lilith.
It was Lily.
Lilith, yeah.
Okay. So we're hitting all angles.
Yeah.
We're going to hit on all cylinders. And we have so many things to do. So, Brother Roy, Amelia, I mean, it's great to be here. Last week I missed it for various circumstances, but, you know, like that James Brown song says, I'm back.
All right.
I'm back.
But Dr. Wright, all seriousness, where is the feminist movement in America?
Mm-hmm.
That's I used to hear great things about.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the ladies in the church? Where's the sorority sisters?
But when we talk about the feminist movement, let's be clear about it. It was typically a white movement, and they were talking about some elements of what I call pseudo-liberation from their husbands and their fathers and so forth. But when it comes all down to the nuts and bolts of it, they are aligned with their husbands, they're aligned with their people. So therefore, there's not really a strong feminist movement. It's nothing more than a concoction of them trying to push an agenda on African-American women and Black women and minority women to fall in line with them. I mean, look at the vote, right? Now, so many women voted for Trump. So many women voted for Trump. And to be honest with you, there were a sizable number of people who were gay who also voted for him.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because these people were voting their interest, they were voting their pocket. They
Absolutely.
understand we have an economy problem. They understand we have an inflation. They understand that this country is on a steroid electing somebody based on gender politics. They understand that.
That's right. And it doesn't work. I mean, we have to elect the people and put in place people who can do the job. I was listening to, I don't know if you heard, I was listening to Al Sharpton today. You know, Tricky Al, the con man, the informant,
The race hustler.
He got paid
That's
too.
it, the race hustler.
How about he pimps the struggle?
Yeah.
All right.
$500K.
$500K. So he was talking about, look at Trump. He has no blacks on his cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not finished yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the issue is that he is finding the best people. I mean, he has an assortment of ethnicities there.
Yeah.
But you see, they try to get people worked up into a frenzy that they can't see nothing but color. And the day is over where you just have a black face at a high place. A professor named Helen Edmonds wrote that book. She is my professor. Black faces in high places. Those days are over. All right. You want the best face in a high place.
But they don't realize that's what the American people reject. They reject the Hollywood. They reject the celebrities. They reject the legacy media. It is a referendum because all the Democratic Party do is DEI and promoting the race baiting.
That's right. And
They don't realize that?
They don't see nothing but money. All right. I mean, you have one group whereby they have a grant and so forth to push the DEI agenda. Then they have another person who gets the position. Then they get a couple of positions for their people, and they all work together in a pack, like a pack of dogs, and they make the money. That's all they care about. It's a group. So, I mean, they don't care about the real interest.
Forgive me. Let me try to understand what you're saying. So when we had C, the face of Oprah, who got paid, not a total of $1 million, but $2.5 million.
Right.
And also all the other celebrities, all the pastors, Pastor Jamal White, so they got paid for spreading the BS, excuse my language, for spreading the BS gossip into the black community, but they love the black community. That's the Democratic Party these days.
Absolutely. You know.
So nothing came from the heart.
No.
It's all about the money.
That's right.
Wow.
I'd like to just add this in, gentlemen, before we move on. I have to add in that Roland Martin got a bag too. He got $350,000.
Yeah, I got his number.
You got his? We should call him up. Hold on. That was it. I just needed to throw that in.
Yeah. I mean, Roland Martin. I mean,
See, he used to talk to me a lot. We used to talk on the phone.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Right.
keep up with a lot of stuff going on in Haiti. I love his style and stuff like that. But and then for the last couple of years, and you know what's funny is, honestly, I think I told you that. Most of my Democratic friends, when Trump was in office, it's like, boy, I work with you, you're doing this, I'm with you. God is my honest truth. I call every one of them. None of them return my phone call, Dr. White.
Oh.
I send them texts. I just want to make sure because I have a tendency, I'll call you, I'll text you too. So just in case you say, well, I didn't see your phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll send them email. Then I'll send them posters. Just to see, I know you got one of them. Then I reach you in every way I can. Okay?
Oh God.
I'll go to the platform, either Facebook or Instagram. I make sure I send them a little text and everywhere, just to have it on record, to say, okay, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I survived 4 years of Biden and Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Why is liberal Democrats having a hard time? What? This is, I don't believe, you guys don't realize what's going on in this world.
Well, they're having a hard time because there's something in the Quran that says when truth comes, falsehood vanishes. And the gig is up on them because there's no more money. I mean, check all the people who's going to be fired now from MSNBC, CNN, and so forth. They don't have no more gigs because they just talked and talked about how things are bad, how Trump is a terrible guy, but now there's no more talk.
On that note, Jeff Bezos, who owned the Washington Post, now gonna have he's looking for conservative columnists
Really?
for his paper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a dramatic change. You're talking about very liberal, and like you're saying, MSNBC is. I mean, ABC, the NBC, they affiliate, so they're trying to separate now.
Mm-hmm.
CNN's going to have a couple laid off. Anderson Cooper is going to be the top to go.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Burnett, that's the second one. Wolf Blitzer, I don't know. But this is why this election was so important to me. And for those who support Trump, who believe in Donald Trump. I was sick and tired of the nonsense, Dr. White. I was sick and tired listening to the liberal media indoctrinated the false narrative. I was sick and tired trying to have an intelligent conversation with folks, and everything on our side was either misinformation or disinformation, that they know this thing was not true. You have to realize how they demonize, for those of us who support Donald Trump, we are Uncle Tom. Therefore, you black, you should not be Republican. Therefore, you black, you should not support this agenda. Just like you're saying, the cabinet is not even halfway full. For those who still talk to me, they're like, well, he's not having a black person yet. I'm like, okay, what is Vivek? Okay, he's Indian. Black. Well, he doesn't claim black, but he always say, yeah, listen, I'm Indian, but I'm black. I'm black.
Yeah.
Okay, so which is Kamala Harris refused to do.
She's Indian, but she claims she black. She red doc, but she claims she black. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Kash Patel, possible that he's going to be the next the FBI director if he gets elected. His name is floating out there a lot. Okay. So this is the nonsense. This is a rejection. This country, this is the revolution that we're talking about, that they think their agenda, their philosophy, their political views was their mainstream, was the majority, and they on November the 5th, they wake up, no, we're not. And I think that's what you see, the frustration, the ladies from The View, and they're not backing down. They're not backing down. If they don't realize the reality, go ahead.
Well, the cackling hens on The View is for sure. I mean, these women are lost. And for me, I think it's the media itself that's lost. When we look at what happened, I think this week, over the weekend actually, Morning Joe and his wife, what's her name, Mika Brzezinski. So they went to Mar-a-Lago to have conversations with President Trump. And it just goes to show you that these people, just about a week or so ago, they were calling Trump Hitler. They were calling him the worst thing.
Hitler, Nazis,
racist.
And that's,
everything that every bad word that you can think of, they were calling in Trump a week ago. But somebody had the bright idea to go to Mar-a-Lago and have conversations with the new president-elect. God, I love saying that.
You know that because MSNBC about to shut down.
Oh, yeah. They're shutting down. And they've got a lifeboat. They're trying to figure out where they're going to land. Grifters, for sure. Yeah. Wherever they're gonna be able to get that bag is where they are. And so they've realized that MSNBC is sinking and they need to find another grift. And so they're going to go back to their Republican roots because Joe Scarborough used to be Republican.
I think right? It was Republican by name.
I think what's taking place also is that the people have found out that they can't be hustled any longer. I mean, you're right. A couple of weeks ago, they were talking about Mr. Trump as being a Hitler.
Yeah.
Now, you don't hear them talking about that. What happened? Has he changed from Hitler to becoming a god now? No. I mean, Biden said that he was a Hitler. He was terrible. He's evil. Yeah. Now he just nicey in the Oval Office. Let's have a nice transition. Where's Harris? Haven't heard a mumbling word from her.
She's gone ever since the day after the election.
I don't think she's going to recover.
Frost, who was here, he's a Hitler. Haven't heard a mumbling word from him. I mean, all these people, you see. So it shows you that they were just hustling the underclass, the minority, the most vulnerable people who gets emotionally charged and they go out and vote. But now you're basically telling those people, since you're not saying anything more about it, that you lied, it was nothing but a game, and we played you. Now the question.
And stick to that point, just like the Black church in America, they play the Black community. No, go ahead. Just they play the Black church in America are the true puppet, and they play and they being exposed. Donald Trump expose them.
Absolutely. I mean, you haven't heard a mumbling word from any of the ministers here or any of the ministers anywhere. In fact, if the only one who has said something, I think his name is Bishop. He's over a civil rights organization. I cannot remember the exact. He's a crippled pastor. And now he's talking about, they didn't treat us right. We had the wrong ground game. The reality of it, they didn't have a ground game.
Yeah.
At all. They had a money game. You see? So now all these ministers who thought they were going to get paid, who thought they was going to be able to buy a new Mercedes-Benz or a Cadillac, now they don't have it. That money is dried up. The monopoly game is over, buddy. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what to tell their people, because they push this agenda that they're doing it for God and
doing it for my community
and all of this stuff.
No, it's about the green.
Nothing.
It's about the green.
In fact, I would say that the majority now of the African American community members who go to church, they're gonna protest that by their membership and by their money. All right, that's what hit the ministers the most, and that's how you hurt them. Pour that money back, because they're gonna find out that they've been played.
They're going to strike. They're going on strike.
Absolutely.
They're not putting anything in the collection plate. They're going on strike. I would just add to that, Dr. White, we'll still stay on the subject of the church. So this week, I think it was Tuesday, was the prayer breakfast of Orlando. I don't know if you all have ever been, Voy.
Yeah,
okay, so this is a prayer breakfast where they have all of these pastors, all these community leaders, politicians, and so on. And so their whole premise of the breakfast is to pray. They're going to, reach out to God and pray for just about all of the community members and all of the different sectors. So somebody prayed for the sheriffs and the police. Somebody prayed for our politicians. Somebody prayed for our nonprofits. Somebody prayed, so on and so forth. And in the beginning, so the first person they had up to address, we're coming to the throne of heaven here, praying for everyone. And I find it so interesting that the first person they had up to address the crowd, and this was a huge a huge crowd. It was Mayor Demings, okay? And Mayor Demings, his first initial things that he said was, he presents his church, which is AME Baptist, or it's on Bruton.
Right. Okay.
Gray, Pastor Gray.
Yes, AME Church.
Yes, AME Church, yes. And so I know that church very well, and they are a political church. And I remember this year, maybe about 2 months ago, I was on that church website, and they were all for Kamala Harris. And Pastor Gray had women in the congregation, in the sanctuary. I've been in that church. In the sanctuary, they had a group of women, and they were talking about how they're going to protect their bodily autonomy. And so they're all about their rights and their choices in the church, in the sanctuary. Again, this was all about killing babies, right?
Right.
And in the church, and the pastor agrees. And here you are, the first person they bring up to address the crowd is Jerry Demings, praising his devil pastor. Mm-hmm. And the next one that came up was who else? Take a guess.
Who?
Buddy Dyer.
Oh my God.
Who was, again, addressing the Christian people, the Christian community, when you can't go downtown without seeing the LGBTQ X, Y, and Z flag everywhere. We're suffocating by it, but yet they are praying to Jesus. I don't know what God they're praying to, but I had to throw that in.
Well, it's a contradiction. I mean, when you have Buddy Dyer there, you're really talking about Satan on the pulpit, right? I mean, this guy is a contradiction of everything. People think that he's supporting their community. He is not. He is nothing but a gimmick, and he's pushing an agenda that does not align with the people. All right, he pushes a corporate agenda, and what's Mayor Demings?
Demings.
He's a sham himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes to a church. That's the same church, right? Reverend Gray.
That's Gray's church.
Reverend Gray's church.
Gray's the pastor.
That's the one where a couple of years ago that somebody came while he was preaching on a Sunday and said that you're my man or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it was some type of big scandal. maybe call him up. Maybe he can talk more about it. I don't remember. It's just his hearsay. This is all. It's hearsay. I wasn't there.
He might not pick up my phone call.
Yeah. But the church has to change.
Yeah.
All right, because if they're going to follow the lineage of people like Richard Allen of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the founder of that church, and Absalom Jones, and Monroe Trotter, and Martin Luther King, and Ralph Abernathy, if they're going to follow those people, they have to hold on to those principles. And the principles that they had was that the people came first, and that they practiced and preached something called liberation theology. And that is, your theology must be utilized to help people transform to become better. But they're not utilizing that theology to transform people to become better. They're utilizing a theology that helps people to become slaves, mentally slaves, and to follow a doctrine that is not godlike, to follow a doctrine that is not part of the 10 Commandments, to follow a doctrine that Jesus wouldn't even recognize.
Yep.
You're right. Jeff, let me play this clip that's special for Morning Joe. And, it's just the hypocrisy of this.
And they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he in the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we?
As somebody close to Donald Trump told me this past weekend, this is a president who's not seeking re-election, so maybe, just maybe, now could be the time for both parties to get to work. Seems to make sense for leaders of both parties to seek common ground, if it's possible at all. I'll tell you, a lot of Democratic leaders we've talked to this past week, since the election, told Mika and me it's time for a new approach. And when I say top Democrats, I mean top Democrats.
We know this will be a presidential presidency. The question is whether it will be constructive. It will take a new approach from all sides, from both parties, and a leader who can bring them together. And only time will tell if Donald Trump is that leader. As for us, we also let him know that we will continue to speak truth to power and push back hard when called for, as we have with all presidents.
We're not here to defend or normalize Donald Trump. We're here to report on him.
Dr. White, this country's so divisive. When you're talking about Joe Scarborough and these people, I would say, in a good Christian way, God forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. But they know exactly what they're doing. They were playing to their base, and they lied to the American people. And even some of our audience here, probably they're a big fan. They were the champion of dehumanize. It was right after the election, I think Mika say, Spanish are racist because they think they're white. They're voting for Donald Trump. That came out of her mouth. There's new polls out there. The American people were concerned about the economy. They were concerned about immigration. They were concerned about the direction this country is going. That's what overwhelmingly, and he won the popular vote. Okay? So they were sick and tired of this nonsense. Was Mika and Joe trying to save their job now? And I listened to the ladies, I got that clip too, I played later to ladies in the view. They were so disappointed that Mika and Joe went to do that. They said they're kissing the rings of Donald Trump. But Donald Trump welcomed with an open arms. What I tell you about the man? If it was me, I would say, no, stay away from me. I don't want nothing to do with it, people. Another note, I like what Melania Trump did. She did not go to the White House sit down with the first lady. Sometime, I know it take a bigger person, but these people talking about new approach. If Kamala Harris would have won the presidency on Tuesday, Democrat would not have no new approach. Okay? It would not. They would have demonized us even more. Okay? And for some black conservative around the country, okay, it would have been just nonstop. You guys, Uncle Tom, all this nonsense I've been hearing for all my life. You Haitian, why you Republican? You know, it just and even show that we do on this radio. Sometimes how these people respond, but they never sit down, look in the mirror. Maybe I'm wrong. Why should I think like that? I had
I think what happened is that the media and members of the Democratic Party have pushed an agenda of emotionalism again. So people are not really thinking. Now, the two journalists, they did the right thing, all right, to go and talk to
Donald Trump should have welcomed them.
All right, I think he did the right thing to welcome them because he is trying to bring the country back together, and that's a tough job he has. Now, what could have happened is that President Obama, President Clinton, even President Bush, they all could have gotten on the table and said, listen, we welcome this new president back. All right. But it was a tough election, but they didn't at all. So that tells me that the top heads, the top line of the Democratic Party are the ones who still have animosity.
Dr. White, you have to understand how Obama's feeling right now. He didn't have his third term.
Fourth term.
Well, I mean, get over it.
He didn't have his third term.
He has a $20 million house. Let him be happy with that.
And you talking Obama, who talked down to black man, you think he's going to reach out to Donald Trump?
But if he was
if
he was a man who said that he was concerned about the community, he doesn't have to reach out to Donald Trump, but he could have just stated to
Obama don't have no decency about it. Remember, it was Barack Hussein Obama who first spied on the president campaign. He started all this nonsense.
I agree with you.
So you think he would have a decency? You think Obama ever had decency?
I was hoping that he would have a little bit of decency in doing something like that because they didn't do it. But what has happened? You have had Biden now. He has tried to derail Trump before he even gets into office. I mean, with the issues that's taken place in Ukraine, the issue that's taken place in the UN, the issues that's taken place with Israel. Do you even know that today that he has green lighted a lighter policy to have more immigrants to come into the United States? All right. And he has canceled the program that can look into their background. Even if they did something in the United States, now if the police checks their record, they will not find anything.
Wait,
So
is it like an expunge?
Yeah.
It's not an expungement, but it's an element whereby you could, I guess so it's like a seal. So therefore, it's a quick entry. You can't do anything about them because they're doing it now so that Trump.
The music is playing. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we see the sentence
I'll show that to you.
of we'll come back. We come back. The phone is also open if you want to participate on this radio show. And I know you guys Democrat out there still trying to recruit, but guess what? We're here for console. Okay, so 478-946-1080. We're gonna go take a break. We got to pay some bills. Go ahead, Jeff. Take it.
All right, I'm gonna adjust my audience. Hello, guys. I'm gonna step out of the studio. Oh, nice lighting out here. So glad that you all tuned in today with me and the Political Flashback crew. We're doing our thing on WOKB. And you guys, you can go on the Facebook page, WOKB Facebook page, where you can watch it as well. But I wanted to stream it here on the Conservative Poet. So really glad you guys are tuning in. So you heard the conversations. We're talking about everything that's currently happening right now. Again, we're talking Donald Trump and everything, some things that's happening locally here in Florida. We haven't touched on the Matt Gaetz story yet, and we will. As you all know, for whatever reason, he seems to be pulling out of being, the Attorney General, which I can't understand why. He's already resigned from the Congress. And when I looked up the story today, they already had him as former Congressman Matt Gaetz, so he ain't going back to his seat. So that's an interesting thought. And if he doesn't continue with this nomination for Attorney General, what happens then? Like, why would you give your seat up and then not move forward with this? We know that it's going to be a firestorm. We know that they're going to, really, really roast him over. But at the end of the day, like Brett Kavanaugh, I would think he would prevail. But unfortunately, he's pulled out, and we're not sure where that's going to go. So all of those interesting things that we're going to cover as we move forward with this stream. He said, "Are you Kamala Harris?" No, I'm not Kamala Harris. maybe you saw my video of pretending to be Kamala Harris when I was addressing the money, trying to get money back. Hey, Rev, can I get my money back? Can you send me that $500,000 back? Because I'm gonna need it to pay the crew. Rev, can you send me back that money? You must have seen that. So that was just me pulling on one of my parodies. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully you'll enjoy. Continue to talk in the comments. We're going to go back in there to address some of the issues after the commercial. So really glad you came. Make sure you like, share, and comment some more. That way YouTube will know that you actually like this content. So thanks again. And I'm going to go back in and we'll see you in there. Okay, you know what? You want to address the audience, Dr. White? You want to say anything or?
To your group?
Yeah.
Sure, do you have something?
Sure. So here's Dr. Issa White. He's been on the show before, and he's going to just say a few things. There you go.
Good afternoon. Be on your show.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
We'll come back.
Welcome back to WOKB 1680 and Political Flashback every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Thank you. Like I said, this great phone line is open. The phone line is open. You guys you could participate at any of those topics. I hope some of your Democrats still recover. I do have this great medication for you guys out there, for all the women that's shaving their head, for all the women that don't want to have sex with their man because they find out the husband voted for Donald J. Trump. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord have mercy. For those of you that's still in shock, I have this great medication called the Trump derangement syndrome. It's like a little gummy bear. Okay. So I know Dr. White was trying to finish a statement earlier. Go ahead, Dr. White, finish what you were saying earlier, and then we're going to jump into one of the murder that took place in America during the campaign that have national impact on immigration in the news. It was Jose Antonio Ibarra who got life sentence, who killed this wonderful student nursing, Lincoln Riley. So go ahead, Dr.
Yeah,
White.
the last point is that, as I was saying, that President Biden,
Somebody likes
he is doing everything in his power to derail President Trump's program before he even gets into office. It's a travesty. It's a terrible thing. I mean, as I mentioned, the issues that's taking place in the Ukraine, trying to start a third world war, the issues that's taking place with the ICC, not wanting to acknowledge the ICC's statement that Netanyahu is a war criminal, should be arrested. The issues that's taking place in the UN, whereby 14-1, the United States is the only one who said no, that Israel is creating a war criminal state. But instead, he's sending more money, looking for an element to create war and catastrophe. He's not looking at the fact that the next war, if we enter a third world war, we're not going to have the luxury to stay home in Orlando or in Tampa and look at what's taking place in another country. We will have missiles flying over our heads, and they will be landing in our cities and our towns. And that's for real. And not Trump, but Biden and his people, they do not care nothing about the American people, nothing at all, much less the people of the world. It's all about them. If they were much more civil, if he was a true leader, he would not be taking the actions that he is doing. And for the American people have to see this, because there's going to be only one way we're going to be able to stop it. And that is to put our weight behind Trump, grant him the work that he needs to be done and the support. And if not, we're going to also have to hit the streets before before Trump becomes president.
Oh, I'll go. Yeah, I believe that you're right, that they don't care anything about we the people. it's about them and their agenda. And Donald Trump is really shaking that agenda to its core.
Absolutely.
And so at this moment, they're trying to figure out how they're going to push as much foolishness across in these next, how many days we got until inauguration? 2
It's
months?
January 20th, so.
Yeah. So they're going to try to do as much as they can to push some of their evil agenda across the way. So again, Donald Trump and everything that he's putting together to clean up this country. You know what I saw today? That there's a person that's been in charge of making America clean again. And their initiative is going across this country, and they're starting in Washington, D.C. They're going to literally start picking up trash everywhere, like literally cleaning up the homeless camps and all of the trash, the filth that's around this country. I think that's great because I have an issue with garbage, you know? And so to hear that they're going to do that, they're actually putting this thing together. Yeah. That's great.
I mean, actually, what you see is it's a grassroots program that's taking place throughout the country, regardless of race, color, nationality, religion, ethnicity. And that's something that
people sick of the devices now.
That's right. They are sick of it. It's the coming together of people. It's not words any longer. It's action. Everybody else, the Democrats and others, just talk words, and they had a slogan, but it wasn't for real. Because when it's for real, you don't have to have a slogan. You don't have to you don't have to push people to do that. They just naturally do it because they want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Dr. White, if the result was different on Tuesday, probably we would not be doing this show. I'm being honest with you.
Oh yeah, we get censored. They censor
We would
us.
not be doing this show because a lot of people would be very unhappy. Okay, with what we're saying, exposing the truth, because it was their way or the highway.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the result was different on Tuesday, I guarantee you people would have called Shanti, say, well, what these Republicans are talking about. Okay, there would have been nastiness because we've seen it from the time we started the show, how people reacted. Some people love us to have a different view, different perspective. And that's what I always do on the station. Okay, I always bring it back. Okay, we honest with our audience. Okay, let's have a debate. Let's change course. Okay, it's not always your viewpoint. I have people around me doing radio. We're very different in our thought process. But if the election would have gone the other way, my God, I don't know. It'll be very hard.
Yeah,
people would have called, take us off the air.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. People would have drive Glenn crazy, drive Shanti crazy, take us off the air. Because why is Republican doing on the gospel on this station?
Right.
And I'm being honest with you. And I'm not shining it. Because, I heard, sometimes you could see folks' reaction. It's like I could see the audience in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. And being on the station, and I'm glad my good friend Don Miller is back on this show. I mean, it's just he brings the truth. He tell it like it is. And there's something people's not used to. People's not used to us in this audience. They're not used to it. Something different.
To be honest with you, I mean, all of us who had this perspective, we have taken some punches for the last 12, 14 months.
Yeah.
I mean, financial punches from our families, punches from attacking our character, punches, everything. All right. We have been in the trenches, but we have stood tall and stood firm. And it's not about how you start the race, it's how you finish, and we finished first. Our words deemed us to be right, and history has cleared that we did the right thing.
I mean, I'm calling I'm not naming names. I don't want to put people on the spotlight. Calling Democrat that I know. People in leadership position, people in organization, people from the NAACP. I'll say that.
Hold on. Yeah.
They got paid too. They got a check
They
too.
got $25,000, $25 million, $25 million to get out to vote. And I'm kind of pissed off with that. I am a member.
Oh
All
my.
right.
You're a member of the NAACP?
Yes, I am. And I'm
Okay.
pissed off at that because we have a number of people within the community who need help. They need lawyers, they need housing, they need jobs. But we had an unidentifiable person. They won't name the person. Baltimore will not tell you who gave the $25 million. All right. So they put this money out. They filtered a little bit into this community and that chapter. But the bulk of it, called the executive director and several others, they're all on the land. You see, everybody was getting paid. You see?
But it seems like this is, and let me get back to this because we got to move on to something else, but it seems this is how the Democratic Party operated. There is not a true hard determination about them, about their character. Even sometime, but where they want to spend the money, and let me give an example. They spend almost $58 million on abortion. A lot of this went to ad and grassroots promoting the abortion. That's just a portion of what they spend. Okay, you look at Kamala Harris. By the way, there's a poll out there. They want her to come back in 2028.
Don't believe
She
it.
is.
Don't believe
She
it.
is the candidate out there for 2028. And by the way, right now, the Democrat Party is struggling for leadership. Who's the leader in the Democratic Party? That's number one, because Obama's been rejected. That's a huge rejection for Obama. I don't know how he's going to do for the next 4 years or what's going to happen. At least Bill Clinton, I see taking the airwave a little bit. He's making a little bit more sense than Obama. Obama has been silenced, okay? And that was their darling leader. Okay, now I find out rejected by a lot of black men. Don't be talking to us like that. No, so now he don't know what he's gonna do with himself. So Biden, he's the most happiest Democrat in Washington right now. At least that's why he's wandering around the Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Biden is wandering around the Amazon.
Walking
You know, but I feel like his disease is spreading all around Democrat around the country.
Absolutely.
Because they're on the Amazon. The women that's shaving their head, the women that say, "Well, I don't want to have sex with my husband." You know, I just and they were pledged for 4 years, so I don't know how they're gonna keep up with it. It's just the nonsense. Yeah. And also some of the celebrities, Ellen DeGeneres is moving to England.
Let her go.
Oh,
is moving to England.
Her and her husband, wife.
No, she has. Oh God, yeah.
It's moving to England. So yes, I gotta be gloried. I'm wondering some of this also. These leaders in the black community, are we gonna come to our senses? Because it's hard for me. Like I said, some good Democrat I used to have debate with, and now everybody's shying away from me. And the difference was when Biden stole the election in 2020. Yes, based on the numbers I'm looking at, the final numbers, Trump at 74 million vote, the same amount of vote he had in 2020. Mm-hmm. And more people voted for Kamala Harris. Like I say, sometimes my math is so fuzzy. I want some Democrat to help me. Maybe Dr. White is a little bit better on this.
The math ain't mathing. That's the bottom line. The numbers
so Kamala Harris lost with 71 million votes. Okay. Barack Hussein Obama won his first term at 68 million votes, and the second term at 65 million votes. And Hillary Clinton lost at 64 million votes. Mm-hmm. So where is the 15 million vote? Where did Biden get that 81 million vote? Where? And like I said, more people went to vote for Kamala Harris. I don't want any Democrat to actually explain that to me. Explain it to me. Mm-hmm. And I haven't, all I'm hearing, hey, It was more absentee ballot. Well, more absentee ballot. How come Trump got the same amount of vote in 2020?
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself, Glenn, I don't know if you're out there listening to me.
Still
Give me a
counting
call.
ballots
You
in
know,
Pennsylvania.
you know,
Right?
so I just want to
Yeah.
throw that out there for those who still, but maybe it's a good thing God said, let him have 2020.
Yeah.
Let him have 2020.
Yeah.
Because 2024, we blew it. It was a tsunami election. And I heard Bill Clinton say, well, we're going to have a woman elected. Because when you guys looking at your candidate was basically a DEI, gender politic. She's a black woman. The issue does not matter. Women are going to lose their right. All the nonsense. And maybe that's why they're such in a shocking mode. They can't come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all perpetrate this lie, this misinformation for so many years. You're trying to demonize this man, political persecution. Maybe this Matt Gaetz was a test for Donald Trump. How? Merrick Garland, he was almost crying, giving a speech at the Department of Justice that they know they framed this man. They know it was a political persecution and prosecution. That's why George Mershon with Alvin Bragg in New York, the prosecutor in New York, don't know what to do now. Judge said, well, the case was weak, let's dismiss it. Alvin Bragg said, well, I want to let it last for another 4 years. So he could have it over Donald Trump. Okay? No, it's clearly no, he can't do it.
There's no
Okay.
place for them to go.
There's place for them to go. That's why the case in Atlanta, Fannie Willis, and I don't know how these people win re-election either.
She may go to
She
jail.
won.
And she may go to
She
jail.
may go to jail. All right.
Okay.
I think, but you got another issue. The Democrats have to understand that in a very real way, their party is crumbling. They may
It's
not
collapsing.
be. It's collapsing. All right. They may not even have a party.
Is that
in
why
5
some of
or
them
6 or
cannot
7
even
years.
recover?
You see, they can't recover because they don't have a program. They don't know what to do because they've been riding a wave of lies for so long that they believe the lies themselves. So therefore, when truth is coming to them, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to react. So now what was taking place with them?
Mhm.
They are blaming each other. They're like crabs now. All right? Blaming and killing each other.
No, they got to blame. Their candidate raised almost $1.2 billion in debt for $22 billion. And we were going to turn this country, okay, into more debt
Mhm.
because she can't manage her own campaign. And that's a test for every candidate out there. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If you cannot run your campaign, your budget properly, you can't put your house together, you should have no business running.
Here's another problem, though. I mean, even though she got a lot of big donors,
And she raised a lot of
a
money.
lot of those people
In a
were
very
giving-
short period of
giving
time, Dr.
$10
White.
and $20. So
Yeah.
therefore, now she's begging those same poor people to pay off the debt. And she used that money to pay billionaires, millionaires to speak for her. These are poor people. So that tells me that Harris and her party, again, do not care nothing about the little man.
Mhm.
They're not like, Harris is not like Harry Truman. I love the little man. She loves the big guy. She
It was
loves
all
the
fake.
money.
It was all fake.
Everything was fake. Everything. So basically, it's saying, listen, help me. I'll funnel some money to you. I'll give you some money under the table. Everybody gets paid. You know that term.
Yeah.
Everybody gets paid. And
It's
that's
like
what
the
happened.
Democratic Party is a bunch of hustlers.
It is a hustle.
The church is a hustler. The pastor is a hustler.
Well, check this out.
The organization is a hustler.
1,000 black pastors in Florida signed a petition to endorse Harris. Where are they now? All right. What are you telling your parishioners?
But Dr. White, where is the conviction of these people? Where is the moral conviction to say, well, I want to, there's a lot of things that I do it basically because I love what I do. Okay. You could throw any money at me. I'll be like, no, It don't matter to me because it's what I believe. Money's not an issue to me. Sometimes I have people right now calling me, and I share this on money. Oh, what position you gonna get? I'm like, I didn't do this for position. This is what I believe. It's not a question I believe in the man, Donald Trump. Yes, I do believe in him because I see how hard he fought, how hard he trying to expose a lot of things. That's what a lot of people give him the chance. Okay? Because he showed us, and every candidate out there, look at his model. He did not quit. Donald Trump didn't have to go to all this nonsense. He could have taken his billions and relax, play golf. He didn't have to. The way the Democrat, they opened a Pandora box. And that's why all last week, you see attorneys, the director of the FBI, the assistant director of the CIA already quit. He's going to quit. Christopher Wray, director of the FBI, soon he leaves office. He's going to have an attorney to represent him. Merrick Garland, soon he leaves. He's going to have an attorney because he's afraid that Donald Trump's going to come after him. And if they do everything right, why do they so afraid?
That's right.
For the last 3.5 years, they've been telling us, okay, all this indictment, all this political persecution and prosecution, okay, all the special counsels, if everything they did right on that part, like they like to say, we follow the law, nobody's above the law. So why are they trying to lower up? Why a lot of attorneys at the State Department is running, and every one of them, an ex-FBI, the ex-FBI director is trying to get an attorney right now.
They're like roaches, right?
Yeah.
With a light
I don't understand
it.
And I help me out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know, Voy. I couldn't tell you, but it is a disgrace how this thing has fallen out. I wanted to just turn just a little bit. I wanted to talk to our audience who's currently listening, especially the women who I'd like for you all to call in, ladies, because I just want to understand. I'd like to talk to Democrat ladies. I'd like for you all to call in if you're able to, just to talk to us a little bit, because I want to understand. Black ladies, Black women voted for Donald Trump about 7%. 92% went to Kamala Harris. And I know a lot of Democrat women are right now listening to this. And I just want to understand, what was it about Kamala Harris that had Black women vote for her at a 92% clip? When you look at this thing on the graph, Hispanics voted about 45%, different people voted different numbers. Whites had a different number, but it was the Black woman, the Black queen, right, that voted 92% for Kamala Harris. And I just was, as a Black woman who did not vote for Kamala Harris, I want to understand, what was the pull, the draw from Black women and why they voted for her at such a high number. So ladies, you can call in. The number is 407-894-1680. Again, 407-894-1680. And I just need you to help me understand the demographics here. Thanks.
No, yeah. They already had told you one of the main issues was money. I don't know why I even asked the question.
I want to know, Voy. I want to know.
It was this genocide of the Black babies.
But I also call it a Black female nationalism. All right. I mean, they push this idea and this argument that now one of us is in the White House. One of us who graduated from Howard University, who is an AKA. So they utilize these points as if to say, wow, things are going to change.
Dr. Wright, hold on to your thought. We do got a caller. Let's take that call. Maybe it's a Black Democrat who's not afraid of coming out the third hole just to speak with us. Hello, caller. How are you? Welcome to Political Flashback every Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Go ahead and talk to me.
black women vote for Kamala Harris. I think she's not so smart at all to ask a question, why? And that's my question, that's my call. You should understand why. Why? Listen to statement, why? Oh, come on, think it over. Have a good night.
That
Okay. I'll let
Well,
you respond to that.
I'm not sure how to respond. Yes, that is my question. I want to understand what their reasons were for making that choice. I mean, when you look at the map and the different demographics of all the different types of people, you know, Asians voted a certain way. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris or the Democrat Party for 92%. It's either Candace Owens said it very well the other day. We just need to understand where the Black woman is thinking, why she is thinking it. And again, a lot of women, Black women, you know, for some people they say, well, you know,
Let's have this dialogue. Was it the economy? Was it the inflation?
No, it couldn't have been.
Okay.
If they wanted more money in their pockets, they wouldn't have voted for Kamala Harris.
Was it gender politics?
Yes.
If they want men's and women's bathrooms, then yeah, you could vote for that.
No, was she represent herself as a female? Or was it a chance? Was it Obama coming, the first Black woman?
I mean, yeah, she was portrayed as Queen Esther, the first Black woman president. Like, is that what they voted for? That's the reason they voted for? I just need to understand the why.
Was it because Kamala is a spirit in India, which is a very bad spirit, from what I understand?
Yeah, that's not a good spirit.
It's sadly.
Yeah,
it's
that's the way.
Yeah, I mean, they voted for her because, again, like you stated, that she is going to be the first Black woman. She is the Nzenga, you know, of liberation from Angola. I mean, that's all they pushed, and that's sad politics.
So the economy was not matter.
The economy.
The inflation was not matter.
That did not matter.
Okay.
All they wanted.
Even she insulted Black folks at the end. Torrance said, "I'm going to give you $25,000 for businesses."
When I brought this up to people, they said, well, she's one of us. So therefore, the concept that you had a Black man.
Hold that thought for that.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yes.
What's that mean?
Hold on.
Yes.
I understand, because this caller, he hang up so fast.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I don't understand liberals. If you're ready to have a conversation, we open to have a conversation. You don't gather quickly, so hang up. Let's have a debate.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Now, we are Black is 14% of the population.
On a good day.
We've been aborting our beautiful Black children, 20 million. Now, if we want to elect based on gender politics, identity politics, why not increasing the Black population? Why trying to reduce the Black population? And that's what the Democratic Party, and I want a Democrat to call 478-946-80 and explain that to me. Because we have not increased our population. We're trying to reduce our population, but we want the Black vote. So we realize Black people cannot put a president in power. Mm-hmm. They realize that now. Mm-hmm. In my community, the Haitian vote don't even matter to Republican. Okay? We realize, well, you know, whatever you guys accuse of Donald Trump, I call you guys dog eater, cat eater. Yeah, Haitian do eat cat. Yeah, we do it for sacrifice. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I already knew that. Okay? So to me, I'm talking to the African American community, to the Black community. Explain this to me. Our population actually take a hit, but they still say we have 14%. Mm-hmm. So now, should we change course to say, let's increase our population so we could have the vote that we want? Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party ran a politic on genocide and reduce the Black population, but you want them to put you in power.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what you have...
Do the Democrats have a math problem? Again.
They don't have a math problem, but what they do have is they don't know how to interpret, and they don't know what is best for their people. Remember, the people in the Democratic Party who's pushing that, they are the gatekeepers. They are the elite. They're the ones who get the money. They're the ones who are making $1 million a year, have $1 million a year job. and they are put there to push an agenda. I have an article that I wrote once, and I called it the Black Professional Managerial Class. They are there to manage their other people. So therefore, the ones who are at the bottom, they tell them what to do, how to think, and these people are really believing that these elite have their interests at heart. But now, again, as I said before, the gig is up because now they're saying that, listen, they've been driving us, they've been destroying us, and now we're on the verge of becoming an obsolete class in the United States. We're on that verge now.
Yeah.
Because never again will African Americans or the Black population be able to push the agenda that they need unless they begin to align with people who have the same interest. And that same interest goes right back to what you've been saying earlier, Voy, and that is money, all right? Wealth building. Because right now, the average African American family has less than $3,000 in the bank.
Well, Dr. White, America look at this and they look at this election. Everything that we have is nothing true to our heart. It's all about the hustling, their money, and that's why the Black community, the African American, been voting for the Democrat Party. Our city that run by Democrat governors, by Democrat mayors, is being deteriorized, and the poverty in our community because it come down to how much I could hustle you, how much I could get from you, and that's why our community is deteriorized to that point that it is right now.
I said, and that's a big difference between Donald Trump and Harris. Harris is talking about for a minute jobs. You know what Trump is talking about? Wealth. Two different things. Wealth is building your own businesses. Remember, he's going to Black barbers and black storefronts. He's going to Black businesses. He understands this is where it's at. Job is good, temporary. But if you want to become a prosperous and strong and vibrant community, you build wealth. And that's what the African-American male, that's what the Black male, that's what Afro-Latino male saw. This man talking about wealth development for not just for today, but for 100 and 200 years down the road. That's the difference.
Hold on, let me play this clip for this brother. Jeff, let me play this clip. This is George Behart on The View. I guess.
These cackling ladies.
These people are miserable, just like that caller who just called.
Yeah.
I think he's miserable.
Yeah.
I really think he's miserable because he see the point that why we voting and I guess this is not going to be the last.
No.
And Kamala Harris, but the Democrat, and I'm glad some people in this country, and this is what make America great. When you think you could lose hope, okay, and therefore some things rise again. I guess common sense, okay? The fact that is, and to my BB,
Oh yeah, baby.
okay, BB Ford, who run a very good election. Her opponents is all pro this, pro abortion, pro this, pro that. I think the Democrat Party needs to look at themselves in the mirror, say we need to increase our population. Let's try to reduce abortion. So maybe one day we could vote basically Black, have the majority Black vote so we could have somebody in power. But now even I'm listening to one of the representatives of Texas. Racism now is even more on steroid with the Democrat. Because they feel like if they don't have racism, they don't have politics.
They don't have nothing.
Yeah. That's what they're going to continue to run on because obviously this round it did not work. But I'd like to say again to our Black folks listening that, you know, the only people that won in this election when it comes to Kamala Harris and the people that she put out here to convince you Black folks that you should vote for her were the people that got richer. You know, like those Al Sharptons who got
Beyonce got
$500,000.
10 million.
Beyonce who got $10 million.
Let me get to
Oprah
the list.
Winfrey
Yeah.
who got $2.5 million. The NAACP that got $25 million. Who else? Megan Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah.
Out here representing, shaking her booty.
She got 5 million.
She got $5 million. These are the people that they brought out to tell you the black. I wonder how much Obama got. You think Obama got paid?
Oh yeah, he got paid. And remember, there's paying off for influencers too.
And then I wanted to go to that point. I brought that up, Dr. White.
Yes.
So myself, I don't consider myself an influencer, but I do have a channel. I do have a platform with several thousand subscribers. But, you know, and I cover a lot of content on the Black community, and I covered a lot of this election. So Kamala Harris and her team, they paid people like me out here in the social spaces. They paid these people to come out here to say, vote for Kamala. I didn't get a penny from the Donald Trump campaign because guess what? I'm not in this to collect money from Donald Trump because I'm in it to speak the truth. I'm in it to try to make the community better. So no, I didn't get paid for any of that. These are the truth that I stand on. But Kamala Harris, she had to pay a whole bunch of internet influencers like myself.
All that beautiful speech Oprah was giving to the Black community, rise of Black community.
Oh no, that's
where's all the Oprah fans out here?
Oprah told y'all. I'm sure
all the
saw
Beyonce friends out here.
Yeah.
All the Beyonce
Call
friends.
them out.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the ones who got paid to tell you to vote against your own benefit. Because that's what all Kamala Harris was pushing out here is for you to kill your babies and reduce the Black population. And that's what you've done. And so those women, 92% of the Black women that came out here and voted against their own demise is the ones I'd like to hear their whys. Why did you vote for Kamala Harris? And I will pose that question again, sir. Why?
You know, Trump raised up to $400 million. He spent $345 million and still got $10.5 million left. Kamala raised $1.3 billion, spent $1.37 billion overspending, and still in $20 million in debt. What does that say about her, Dr. White?
Well, that tells us something. We should be very, very happy that she's not the president because we already have an economic problem. We have a worse.
$34 billion in debt. That's where we're at.
That's right. That's where we are. And so, I mean, so it was only God's way of saying, no, she cannot do it because if she cannot budget her own campaign with that type of money, what can she do for the country? All right. So, I mean, so this is a blessing in disguise.
Democrat nervous about Elon Musk and Vivek because the position is to find every dime, every spending, reduce the debt, and Elon talking about and Vivek reducing it to $2.5 trillion.
Yeah.
Democrat is nervous.
Yeah, they should be nervous because what you have with those two gentlemen and the other members of his cabinet, they are disruptors. All right, that means that they are not going to do things as usual. They're going to go against the traditional norms of things and bring back a sensible, common sense structure of governance. So that's why they're afraid. They're afraid that they're not going to get the money. I mean, think about this. Mm-hmm. All of them, for the most part, are anti-American hegemony. They want to put money into the infrastructure of our society. So that means that the money that we're spending again in Ukraine, the money that we're spending on a new military base in South America, the money that we're spending all over the world, these men are talking about bringing that money home. You know why? Like Donald Trump, they see the United States as a business, as a corporation. And the bottom line of the corporation is to make money, but for everyone to benefit. Because when people don't benefit within that corporation, then you have strife and conflict and so forth. That's what we had in the 1930s and 1940s. FDR was talking about everybody should have a chicken in the pot. All right. That means today everybody should have the opportunity to save the money, to make money, to buy a house, to have a vacation, to send your kids to school. That's what he's bringing back. That's what Trump and his men and women are bringing back to the United States. And that is very simple. It's not hard. These other people, they don't have any idea like that. Their idea is bringing money to themselves and to their small clique. And that's why they're upset with Vivid, all right? That's why they're upset with Musk. That's why they're upset with Rubio. That's why they're upset with the people who are surrounding him, surrounding Trump. That's why they're upset with you and I.
Well, I got a great news to share with you, Dr. White. Pam Bondi has been selected as for the next Attorney General.
Oh,
Pam Bondi was the Attorney General for the state of Florida. Will also represent Donald Trump on 2 of his case, on 2 of his impeachment proceedings.
Can you say whoop, whoop?
I say yeah. And she is a female.
And Pam Bondi will work with also Matt Gaetz, but also the department after hours of Matt Gaetz withdraw his name. Yet Pam Bondi has been considered as the next appointee for the Attorney General, and I believe Pam Bondi is a fist fighter. And I think this election of Donald Trump, a lot of the candidate, and he stay in Florida so far, pick up the people that's closer to him. So I think that's a great pick. And the other news I might share with you, but this has not been published. Could it be a possibility Ron DeSantis appointed Matt Gaetz to replace Marco Rubio?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a logical choice. All right. And I mean, because he resigned for Congress.
His term, Marco Rubio term is until 2026.
I mean,
so if that's the case, and the reason why, and I got a text earlier, the reason why Matt Gaetz withdrew his name out of the race, 4 Republicans came out, said they will not vote for him to get the nomination. Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski out of Alaska, John Curtis out of Utah. That's a surprise. And the other one is not a surprise, Susan Collins. The top 3, Mitch, I know he's up for 2026. I don't think this man is even worse than Joe Biden. I got to admit.
Yeah.
He's worse than Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He froze on stage. He's not been wandering around, but
that's coming.
I just gotta wonder, like, how is it that he exudes so much power when the man is literally declining in front of us? Same thing with Nancy Pelosi. You can't understand anything she's got going on.
Yeah.
But yet these people, she's running.
Yeah, she just won the re-election.
And that's what I'm saying. She can barely. These people need to go to the nursing home. That's where they need to go. These people are old. We need new blood to do this thing. They need to just go somewhere. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and all of these people. That's what I believe that they need to do. We need new people, new leadership, new younger people to do this fight.
If Governor DeSantis does not appoint Matt Gaetz, because he resigned from Congress.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, he resigned from Congress quickly. Was it a mistake? Or did he draw too early of the nomination? Because you have to understand, yesterday, he was in Capitol Hill with J.D. Vance, lobbying, and this is formal procedure, lobbying with the senators, making his case. Or could it be more damaging evidence, Dr. White, against his sexual allegation?
Well, we live in a country that you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
Absolutely. Right. And also the same DOJ did not find anything on Matt Gaetz. So I'm wondering if there's, because if you look at doing Kavanaugh appointment where Democrat were on steroid, people coming out with every sexual allegation. This is the game that they play in Washington also. You got to expect that.
I mean, sadly, most politicians are thin-skinned. And so if they see that their constituents are going against them a little bit, or there's a question, that's how they're going to move. So therefore, the controversy around Matt Gaetz is one that they didn't want to deal with. Now, I think that he may have resigned too soon.
Yeah.
Perhaps thinking that, I know it's going to be a tough race.
Because he can only afford 3 senators.
That's right. He
And
never
he had
expected the
4.
other. That's right.
Yeah, he had 4. And like I said, John Curtis out of Utah, that's a surprise to me. But Mitch McComb, Lisa McCluskey, Susan Collins, never also, and she got to retire. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She got to go. And these people in 2026, I know they're up for re-election. No doubt Donald Trump going to make sure they're not in the Senate.
Mm-hmm. But I think that if someone decides to put him in the Senate, he'll do a better job there than in the Congress.
Because the Senate cannot say, well, he cannot be in the Senate. So
that's right.
I mean,
so maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
In many respects. I mean, because the thing about Matt Gaetz, regardless to what he has done personally, he raises questions.
Yeah.
All right. The right questions. He makes people think, and he is like a thorn in the side of the establishment. And he will not be quiet. He would be probably the most aggressive senator in that body, and that would be good for the American people.
Yes, that would be good politics. The reason why I raise this up is it could be more damaging evidence because the president did talk about doing a recess appointment. And let me give the record of president who had recess appointment. He could have go recess for 380 days. Ronald Reagan had 240 recess appointment. George W.H. Bush had 77. Bill Clinton had 139 recess appointment. George W. Bush had 171. Barack Obama had 32 recess appointment. Donald Trump had 0 on his first term. And yes, the president, he would have the right to say, okay, it's not going to make it through the confirmation. I'll just do the recess appointment, which is temporarily for 300. Why that we got that news today that he withdrew his name. So to me, that still could have been, because like I said, we got to be fair.
So, yeah, I'm in agreement that, he may have jumped the gun and resigned early from the Congress. But for me, I was like, he's all in, right? There's nothing else.
I thought he would have the skin.
He's all in to take on the fight because we know it's going to be tough. He's all in. He's resigned. He's all in. But today, it's like, well, what happened? I hear you saying that, he may not have gotten all of the votes in the Senate to pull him through.
Yeah, he could only lose 3, and J.D. Vance would been the brick and tie vote.
Okay.
It's 50.
So he wouldn't have made it through the Senate. So, we still had the ace in the hole where President Trump could come out and do what you just explained.
Yeah.
And he would still get in.
Yeah.
But remember, the Democrats would have made Matt Gaetz a spectacle. All right, and it would have
been that focus that overshadowed the Trump.
That's right. It would have been a terrible distraction.
Okay.
And so perhaps he did this for the team.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Listen,
I agree
Trump
with you
is
there.
much more important than I am.
Yeah.
All right, and we cannot do anything
because the whole media since his appointment, you see the whole media is on Matt Gaetz.
That's right. I mean, it's not like he doesn't need the money. I mean, he has money. He comes from a very, very strong family. He's a lawyer, so he's going to rebound. He's going to land on his feet. But I really think that he's going to end up in the Senate. Okay,
the reason why I say the Senate, because he won his district by 66% of the vote, just, on this election, 66%. So I know on the other side, Laura Trump, that's to me, and that's my position. Laura Trump has not been a big Florida advocate. I'm sorry. And sometimes I got to stand in principle. So, Yes, she will be appointed in 2026. She'll up for re-election, and we don't want to lose that seat. And I think if a member of Congress got elected with 66% of his vote and with his popularity, even though with all this shattering, I think he could. If Ron DeSantis selected Matt Gaetz to replace Marco Rubio in 2026, he could easily win.
He could win.
And win the state. And with Laura, I think that's a gamble that to take.
Mm.
Yeah, he's more seasoned.
Go ahead. Oh.
Well, I'm not in disagreement.
That's just my analysis on that.
Well,
point.
somebody brought up a point. I was having conversations with somebody, and we brought up the point that maybe Laura Trump may not serve as best as the senator. Maybe she could continue her role as the chair of the RNC to really whip the RNC into shape, to really prepare us for really winning elections like she just did. So she just got into that chair position, so she hasn't had time to really get deep into what this really is. So maybe her staying there as the chair to really uplift the party is really where she should stay.
Okay. And the selection of Pam Bondi, I think, is a great pick because she has been exposed to the Russian hoax and to the political prosecution. I think this is where the direction that President Trump is going with this, because he has other selection that he could have made. Attorney General out of Texas, Paxson, and others around. So he makes sure he has somebody on his team that actually know what was going on during this presidency. So Pam Bondi is another great pick. And since the music is playing, we're gonna do a final round. Dr. Wright, ICBM missiles being launched. Ukraine was able to intercept. Is it a message that the Russian is sending the Western civilization? I'm not playing with you. I will use nuclear weapon if I have to. We see the Biden administration give long-range missiles to Ukraine. Already sent 6 of them, was intercepted by Russia. Now, this is the most powerful weapon that the Russians used so far, ICBM, without the nuclear warhead. What do you think?
But first of all, it's a message. Putin has already sent out messages that he wants to negotiate a ceasefire. However, he stated the stipulation is that Trump has to be part of it. Russia could have destroyed Ukraine a long time ago. They already controlled 136,000 square miles of Ukraine, which is 30% of their territory. They have already killed up to about 1 million men who are Ukrainians. So therefore, it's just a message that says, listen, I'm not playing with you, but I don't really want to do this. And the thing about it is that I believe that Putin will not do anything right now because he's not going to fall for the bait of President Biden. Biden, if he can get Russia into a conflict with the United States, he wins. That's what he wants. That's what he's praying for every night.
It's creating more chaos?
Absolutely, is creating more chaos because he wants that pressure on Trump. He wants the Trump administration to be a failure like his. Right now, Biden has he's the most failed president in the history of our country.
He'll be judged as the Jimmy Carter. So he took that spot.
He has taken that spot.
He has taken that spot.
All right. He doesn't know.
And the other point is the International Court charged arrest warrant for Bibi Netanyahu. Do you think the court made the good decision since Israel was attacked on October the 7th?
Absolutely, they made the right decision
by Hamas.
I mean, I used to be a boxer, right? And you don't overkill. So when you have somebody hurt, you give them an 8 count or you stop the fight. You don't overkill. There's an overkill right now. There's over 100,000 Palestinians who have been killed, and now they're taking the war into Lebanon, and they want to extend that into Iran. So therefore, the court did the right thing. Now, it's interesting, even though the United States is not a signature to the court, when the court issued a warrant for Putin, the United States is all in. Remember that. All right. Now they're saying, oh, it's anti-Semitic and so forth. The whole element which the American people are saying that no one is above the law. No country is above the law. So therefore, if Netanyahu and his defense minister did wrong, they should be held accountable.
Okay. Bibi is a good friend of the president. How do you think Donald Trump going to respond to that? And how do you view this with the international court in the Trump administration?
President Trump is a friend to a lot of different people, but he is a tough person and he's fair. So I think he'd tell Bibi, listen, we're friends, you're my boy, but you got to stop.
Thank you, Dr. White, and I thank this great audience. Thanks for the caller who had called in. I appreciate you, and I hope all the Democrats coming out, all the it's like no turtle. Y'all went to your little hole. Hopefully you'll stop putting your neck out and give me a call, okay? And stay tuned with Lady D. Lady D's coming next. Stay tuned. She's already in the studio, looking bright, looking always gorgeous. Look at her. And thank you, Jeff. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you guys.